The setback requirements alone make these lines completely invalid based on the engineering plans. It's a technical error.
My decision is final, sir. The lines stay exactly where they are.
Cold air hit my face when I opened the door. The streetlights buzzed like angry bees. Fresh paint stung my nose. I stared at my driveway and blinked hard. Bright white lines ran straight over my concrete like a barcode on my life. 22 perfect parking stripes. My car sat trapped behind a fence of paint. A cone with HOA printed in bold stood on my grass like a little boss. It was 6:13 a.m. on May 3rd, 2024. A flashing work truck idled by the curb. A woman in a neon vest held a clipboard and a smug smile. She waved like she was giving me a gift. She said the board voted for new community parking. She said my driveway was now a shared amenity. My coffee went cold in my hand. This is what they did. HOA built 22 parking stripes across my driveway. Had no idea I am their engineer. That is the fight. They said the bylaws let them optimize curb access without my consent. They stapled a notice to my mailbox that listed new rules and new fines. $100 per unapproved obstruction, which meant my own car. Karen, the board president, stood there with her gold badge lanyard like a sheriff of asphalt. She told me to move my car behind the line by 9:00 p.m. or get cited. She called me neighbor in a voice that was not friendly. I took a breath and tasted solvent and anger. I tried to reason. I spoke soft. I asked for the vote minutes. I asked for the paint permit. Karen said it was internal. 2 board members looked away like kids hiding gum. A guy down the block whispered sorry and closed his door. I went to the HOA office at noon. The manager pointed at a laminated policy on the wall. He said my driveway appeared to be common area on an old map. I showed him my deed. He shrugged. I emailed the board. No reply. I called the city. The clerk put me on hold to piano music and then said, "That sounds like a civil issue." I walked home under the smell of hot tar. That was my line in the sand. I promised myself I would use proper channels only. I set up a clean desk and started smart plotting. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. Timeline item 1, April 5 at 4:27 a.m., false trespass call. That was when Karen called the non-emergency line on my teen for loitering in our own yard. Timeline item 2, May 1 at 8:10 p.m., warning letter taped to my door. Timeline item 3, May 3 at 6:13 a.m., striping crew. I pulled the plat map from county records. I pulled the HOA articles. I pulled the city's pavement marking standards. Here's a plain law line. Private associations cannot change legal access to a private driveway without owner consent. Also, paint in the right-of-way needs a traffic control permit. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. I drafted letters. I kept my voice cool. I signed them with my full name and my license number. The HOA had no idea I'm a civil engineer who reviews these plans for a living. The payoff twist began on a bright Saturday. Karen called a parking education day and set up folding chairs on my sidewalk. She put up a banner that read, "Community wins with more stripes." A small crowd came for the free donuts. I rolled out my own table. I brought 1 box, public records. The file landed with 63 pages. Inside were emails between Karen and the striping contractor. No permit, no city review. A photo of my driveway marked Phase 1. Also, an invoice for $3,700 from HOA funds. I brought my projector and a portable screen. When Karen grabbed the mic, I raised my hand. "Let's talk safety," I said. I pulled up the city standard that bans parking stripes across a driveway apron. I pulled up the plat that shows my property line extends 2 feet into the curb flare. I zoomed in on the contractor's own text saying, "We'll do it at dawn to avoid the inspector." I spoke plain and slow so everyone could follow. Then I clicked to my last slide, which was a signed stop work notice from the city traffic engineer. My boss, my signature was on the review. The crowd turned. Karen went red. Phones came out like a flock of birds. Neighbors filmed. Someone whispered, "This is better than streaming." Comments flew. "Why are we paying for illegal paint? Who gave you the right?" The contractor backed his truck away so fast he clipped a cone. A teen on a scooter did laps over the stripes and yelled, "Free lanes!" A mom laughed so hard she snorted. My mailbox notice got read out loud and people booed. A neighbor posted the slides to our community group with the caption, "Turns out the neighbor is the engineer." By sunset, there were 200 comments and 1 glorious meme of my driveway as a tiny airport with gates. The HOA's page tried to delete threads. That only made it worse. My binder sat open on the table like a little museum of receipts. People took pictures of the emails and the invoice. My phone buzzed until it got warm in my pocket. Then the authority flip hit. A city inspector car pulled up. The officer stepped out with a clipboard that mattered. He checked my screen, my binder, and the curb. He handed Karen an order to remove the illegal markings within 72 hours and restore the driveway to original condition. A police cruiser rolled in quiet and calm. The officer listened to both sides. He looked at my timeline and at a report from April 5th. He said, "For the record, this was a false trespass call," and he explained it to the crowd. He added, "Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted." The HOA manager tried to argue and waived the laminated policy. The officer said, "That's not law." The inspector added this, The HOA will face fines of $150 per day, if not fixed by Tuesday at 5:00 p.m. He asked for a board sign-off that they understood. The pen shook in Karen's hand. By Monday, the stripes were gone. The contractor came at noon and power-washed like his life depended on it. The HOA sent a letter with a great new tone. They would reimburse affected residents. They would hold a vote on new leadership. They would hire a compliance consultant. The board posted an apology that said they misinterpreted jurisdiction. My driveway looked like a driveway again. Peace felt like warm sun on my shoulders. The neighbor who had whispered sorry brought over brownies. The teen with the scooter helped me replant the crushed grass edge. We laughed about the tiny airport meme. Consequences arrived too. Karen stepped down as president. The board paid back the $3,700 in the city fines. The community page changed its banner to "We Learn, We Listen." I kept the binder on my shelf to remind myself that calm and facts can still win. And yes, I parked in my driveway, right in the middle, with plenty of space on both sides to spare. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below